Yeah. Aswand, Cruickshank, and one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Day two of a pain-free experience in my right ankle. If you keep up with these regularly, you know past couple days I've been battling an ankle injury, and yesterday was the first day in which I did a run and I felt zero pain in the ankle. Granted, I'm only doing 2 miles between today and tomorrow, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But want to make sure I'm out here getting it, make sure we're hitting it with the right amount of ice, stretching it properly, making sure you're just staying active on it. You know, you don't take off days out over here in the Move Swiftly sports marketing world, all right? As far as today's Move Swiftly thought, you got to understand a couple things, all right? The only thing, and I just finished listening to this book on Audible titled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson. Absolutely incredible read. Didn't take me but a couple of days to run through it. I mean, just on point with everything that he was saying. And the main takeaway, the big takeaway, the kind of the main theme, the way he dropped the mic in the entire book was he goes, look, the only thing that we know, like for sure is going to happen, the only guarantee in life that we know is going to happen is that we all will not be here. All right, we don't know when it's going to happen, but at some point we know, the guarantee is that we know that we are going to move along and pass away, and we will no longer be here physically, all right? And that in itself is what today's Move Swiftly thought is all about, all right? Because it's not even realistic. It's not even a thought on anybody's mind that they're going to be here forever. So the question now becomes, what exactly am I going to do while I'm here? We get the day we would get the year we were born, we get a dash, and we have the year we're passed away. The question has to be every single day, every moment, every single moment that you're breathing, it's what I'm going to do between those years, what I'm going to do in that dash. What are people going to remember me for? How exactly will I be remembered, and how will I continue to leave my mark when I'm no longer here? All right. And I had a real life experience of what that actually entails just yesterday. All right. And I reached out. I don't want to put his name out there yet because nothing official we haven't officially, created something, but just know I reached out to a cold lead, reached out to him on LinkedIn, and we had a really, really great conversation yesterday. Initial conversation, feeling each other out, just figuring out how we can support each other in this NIL space and sports marketing world as fellow authors. He actually is a professor, adjunct professor at the collegiate level, but he also too is a former player like me, wrote a book that's very similar to the kinds of things I talk about, right? And, as we jumped on the Zoom call initially, we're just kind of giving each other our backgrounds, and there was a name that came up. There's a name that came up, and the name was none other than the late legend, Carl Torbush, all right, Carl Torbush. And I was telling him, because he does his work out in East Tennessee in Knoxville, and I was telling him how my freshman year I went to Carson Newman, and then he played his college ball at Texas A&M. And I remember when I left Carson Newman, Coach Carl Torbush took the defensive coordinator position, I believe it was at Texas. I think it was Texas A&M. He was in Texas A&M. But the long story short is he knew who Carl Torbush was, right? He knew exactly who Carl Torbush was, and it kind of broke the proverbial ice in terms of, when you're getting into these brand new relationships, or, you're trying to work with somebody brand new and you're trying to figure out, the best ways to work with a person. It's always good that similar people or, things like that. Again, it just makes the process and the figuring out what exactly we're going to work together on, and makes that process a whole lot easier when there's a person that we can relate to. And when I gave him, my background, I was telling him the relationship that I had with Coach Carl Torbush, even though it was just one season, and that he was telling me how he, worked with him in the past. Then everything, like the ice just kind of melted, and then everything moves really, really smooth, and we were able to, again, build that trust with one another, even though we were doing this via a virtual conversation, right? And that's what it's all about, all right? And today, and here's another part of that. Here's the kind of the macro part of this entire thought today is, if I didn't decide to write my latest book, which is titled Transferring D1, which I talk about my experience from Carson Newman all the way to Stony Brook, D2 school, all the way to a Division I program at Stony Brook. If I didn't decide to write that, I would not have even realized that Coach Carl Torbush passed away. All right, it was in writing the book and doing research and talking about how he had an effect on my life, and the way he influenced all the linebackers coaches, and the coach I had in high school, my linebackers coach I had in high school, how he influenced him. And then when I got there, how he was also the assistant head coach, and things he was talking about when it comes to Coach Sparks, and how Carson Newman was home. So I had to go do my research and see how he was doing, and then I realized that, oh man, he had passed away just recently. Like, this isn't new. I mean, this is new. This is fairly new. He passed away just this past, I believe it was like late 2023. So the point of me breaking all of that down for you, and the main thing that you got to take away and you got to understand from today's Move Swiftly thought is, when it comes to how you're viewed, when it comes to what you leave behind in this world, when it comes to the way you touch people and how you interact with people and all the things that go along with, just living a very fruitful life and living a life of becoming or being called, we'll title this being called a legend. These are the things that need to be happening. You got to make it so you're connecting to people long after you've passed away, right? Because of people know your name, because people are using your name to maybe engage a person or have a conversation with someone. All right, now automatically something is within them. Now they trust that person. That's the radiation. That's what you have to create. That's the ripple effect. You have to become a very positive ripple effect. And these are the things that are very important. Because like I said, it's to start this video, we just don't know when our time is going to be. And it's up to us. It's up to us to live every single day. This isn't I don't say that to be like a downer or anything like that. I don't say that to be negative. I say it actually to be more of a positive person. So to give you more of a positive thought, so you understand that your time is not limited, and that you should be making sure every single moment of every single day you're striving, you're doing something to get better, and you're making it so the people around you, being an example, a positive example, a shining example for the people around you to get better, all right? Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.